For many people, setting a goal for financial success can seem futile. My name is Paul Vázquez with Tax Lab, and we help people become ethical millionaires. Yes, it can seem futile. I wouldn't say dumb, but it can almost feel that way to some, to set goals for financial success, because it can seem like such a daunting task. But here are 5 things that you can do to help increase your chances of success if you are brave enough to set those goals for financial security. First, discover where you are now. You have to understand the base of where you're starting from. Just like when you are going to set up camp, when you get to a new campsite, you need to understand your surrounding. Where can you find your current source of food? Where should you hide the bear trap? What's the best ground to put your tent on? Is there a cliff nearby? Is there a stream nearby? Are there animal droppings nearby? What is around your surroundings where you are right now? Let's get a lay of the land. Try to understand where you are right now. Now that you understand where you're at, let's go on to the second point. Your first time out, you want to set an experimental goal. So getting a lay of the land, understanding where you're starting from, can help you set your first experimental goal, where you just experiment to see if you can do it, or what you might learn along the way, just to test it out. Let's set a goal that you could possibly get to if you put in a little bit of effort. So let's set that experimental goal, not because maybe it's the be all and end all to get to that goal, but because we want to learn how we can get to our goals, what that path and that journey would look like. So let's start with that. Third, we need to have a vehicle to get there. Depending on the terrain, you might just need a pair of boots. Maybe you would do better with a bike or a car, but we need to have some vehicle, some means of transportation of getting us from point A to point B. Once we have that vehicle, we can get into that vehicle and begin to understand how to navigate it, how to drive it, how to use that vehicle to get us to move forward. So we're no longer necessarily focused, right, on the goal or getting to that goal, but we're then focused on how to use the vehicle, how to navigate that vehicle. What do the levers do? What does our progress look like? And that leads us to the fourth thing. We need to have the right tools, the right instruments to measure our success. We need to have the means of saying, okay, we started here, we're now here. How far did I travel? How much did I go? Was it because I was going uphill that I was going slower, or maybe I was going faster because I was going downhill? How do I judge that if it's hard for me to tell while I'm in the driver's seat exactly what's going on? Number one, because maybe I'm focused a bit more on how I'm operating this machine and whether or not it's doing what I think it should do, it's responding well, than I am exactly on how much the outside has moved in response to that. I can once I've fiddled with some things, then I can look outside and go, okay, what tools do I have to really determine how far I've actually traveled, right? I need to have those right measuring devices available to me. So that's the fourth, and this is the fifth. You want to fuel your machine, your vehicle of getting to your destination with focus. If you get into that vehicle and you're still thinking about the problems that you had at the campsite this morning, or maybe you heard that there were some some hunters or some wild animals far off from that campsite, and you heard about that, and you're busy thinking about what happened over there, or what happened in the past, or maybe you heard about some more problems up ahead, and you don't even know if those problems are going to be your problems. You just heard about them, and oh yeah, remember how you tried once and you failed, or how things are so bad, and how things aren't going to go well because all these other things get in your way, and who can I blame for this? I don't want to take responsibility for the bad things. Let me set it up a little bit so that way I can blame somebody else for these. I mean, the list can go on and on and on as to where your focus is. And I'm not saying that those things don't happen, those things aren't around. But when you focus on those things, you're no longer focused on how am I getting to these goals? How am I there? So how can you focus on, how can you use focus as your fuel? Well, you have to, number one, recognize that you're being distracted. And ask yourself, do you want to be distracted? Is that the life you want? Do you want to be constantly rubbernecking out the window of that vehicle and trying to see what else is going on and being distracted from the road up ahead? Is that the life you want to live? If so, that's fine, but you'll have to realize it's going to be hard for you to make that financial progress unless you're willing to let go of those things and to decide where in your life do you want to focus. Do you want to focus on how you might be able to become more financially free, more financially secure, or do you want to let others and outside forces determine what you're focused on? And I think out of all the things, that's the one that stops us the most. It's not having a vehicle is very frustrating because it's going to be hard to travel if you don't have a means of mobility, and so that can be very frustrating. But even when you have everything else in place, if you don't fuel your intentions with your focus, then it's just wishful thinking, and sometimes not even that. You might have to relook at your priorities and really take a look and decide, what is it do you really want out of life? I think if you have intentions of becoming financially free, financially secure, but you have other things that have been distracting, the challenge is to find a way to still be a part of the life for those around you, but then also find a way that you can stay focused on the things that'll help you move forward in your goals for financial freedom and financial success. And if you want somebody to help you figure out these 5 steps, number 1, where you're starting from, what that groundwork is. Number 2, get a vehicle to help you move in the right direction. Number 2 is set a realistic goal. Number 3, or an experimental goal. That's what we're going to call it, an experimental goal. Number 3 was the vehicle. We can help you put together that vehicle, get it ready. And we can actually operate that vehicle for you in many cases, but it's a little bit more expensive, and it's always better if you're in the driver's seat. Number 4 is monitoring your progress. We can help you with that tool too. We can help you get the tools, learn how to use them. And number 5 is fuel with focus. We can do meetings every quarter that kind of help give you that fuel, help give you that focus back, so you can get back to going forward on your goals. Go to lab.tax, click on advisory services for your free 15-minute introductory phone call, and I wish you guys all the success.